Hello, hold on. We're still trying to fix ourselves here.
I just had a great idea.
Hold on.
It's stupid.
Kendall is off to do something. I don't know what. But welcome to Free Spirit Talks. Our topic today is why aren't you on demand? Oh, sorry. And I am Addison Bell.
And I'm Kendall Williams. Was that cool?
That's not fair. I need a remote. No, it's not working. Your remote's broken.
It's the Addison Bell on demand.
So I just talk on demand?
Yeah, you were supposed to shut up right there.
I thought you turned me on.
No.
You're stupid.
What?
Silliness. That's funny.
That's what
That's
people
funny.
expect, right?
Respond to me. Off. But yeah, that is what people expect. But why aren't you there? I texted you 2 minutes ago. Why have you not responded yet?
I had to use the restroom.
That is just unacceptable. You're supposed to have your phone in the restroom with you. You're supposed to be typing that shit out. Oops. Oops. You're supposed to be typing stuff out, and I mean, if I call you and you're peeing, you need to just like hold that stuff back and just.
I've done a live stream from the toilet before.
I know, I watched it. It's interesting, but you weren't actually peeing in the live stream.
No, but it looked like it for a half a second.
It did.
For a half a second, every thought that I was actually.
But that was more. That was about pooping.
Are you constipated?
Yeah, that was about pooping.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, but no. I know it's. I was just sharing about that. We were talking about a response that I got yesterday. Well, it's evening on the 4th of July, and somebody messages me if I want to hang out that I've never met before, that I don't know who they are, and I saw it come in. I was on Facebook, so they probably saw that I was on Facebook, right? Because it shows when you're online.
Mm-hmm.
It shows that you're online.
How dare you?
Because he saw that I was online and I didn't jump to it, he sent me a question mark. And then I was in this mood, and I was like, no, I don't want question mark, question mark, question mark. And then it gets into, well, what's wrong with you? Why are you ignoring me? What's going on? What did I do? I'm like, you're driving me crazy. That's what you're doing.
Now what you're doing is driving me up the wall.
You're kind of like, this is just getting, yeah. But we do that not just with strangers.
No.
We do it with our friends. We do it with our partners. We do it, work related constantly in so many different ways.
I know in the dating world, that is one thing that I actually have on my profile. I do believe, and
don't send me question marks.
No, but like on my personal profile.
Activate my profile again. I'm gonna put do not send me a question mark.
Yeah, or hi, and expect a response. Expect a response. Like what? Hi. Hi. I don't know you.
And then they respond back with hi again. So then you got like 5 or 6
question mark.
Question mark.
All right, bitch. Sorry, I don't care.
But that's it. It goes hi, 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 hi. Question mark. Question mark. Why aren't you talking to me?
Or you're beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're gorgeous. Thank you. I know. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
We see each other's marketing pages, our business, each other's
it's
managing
special.
And everything. So we see every single thing that comes through on some of those questions.
FYI, if you send us something, our teams, we have teams, both of our teams see everything. So when you send us that picture,
you know the picture.
You know the picture. Guess who also sees it? About 10 other people.
It's very fun sometimes.
It's funny. And then we laugh about it.
You've been getting some really fun comments lately.
I do.
And they're very much, why aren't you on demand about this? Like, your demand should be that you should be, like, you should be jumping on that stuff. It should be like, it is being made available to you. It's going out there. Why are you not accepting this? And I've been, because I'm actually on like a low point right now. As I know that you know, because you're like, nobody's really sending me. I don't need it. But I mean, but it's that.
Why aren't you here right this second?
Yeah. And it comes up with, yes, in the sexual world, big time. I think that is so prevalent in the sexual world or in the dating world, relationships. It's like, that is not a good way to try to initiate a relationship, for sure. And it's not a good way to keep a relationship going.
Here's the deal. I was saying, like, it's on my profile. Like, I am not going to be constantly in communication. I would rather, when I'm with you, be present and actually have good communication, or even have those, like, if I'm in a relationship, and this is what I tell my clients even, because you get that, like, you get that needy man or needy woman who is always having to, like, text and message, and it's, like, all day long. That is not connection. Connection is when you really have something to say and you really are actually in the moment and sharing. That is
I have
connection.
Beautiful clients that I'm working with, and they've been together forever, we're gonna just say. And I mean, like, I'm talking, it's very, they have grown children, okay? So, and for the last probably 15, 16, 17 years, the flow of their connection has been 30-second calls. So he's away at work a lot, and she's been home raising the kids, right? And they have their scenarios and all this kind of stuff. And he would call her, like once every 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hour. And it would just be this, like, is your heartbeat still there? That kind of, and that's that kind of that feeling. And I say that not, because it's not a true connection. It is kind of like, I'm just checking your pulse. Oh, you're still alive. Good. And I'll check your pulse in an hour from now. Oh, still checking your pulse. Oh, yep, it's still good. But that other side of it is that you're almost, there's an irritation forming. There's a bitterness forming. There's all this different stuff because there's not really truly connection. And the thing that, I'm using them as an example because it's just like primary right now in that, but I've seen this multiple times that one party or the other will do that. And then the party who is getting that, the check-in, we'll call it, there's a couple things that's going on. Either the person that's doing the check-in has tremendous insecurity issues and is assuming that the person is not trustworthy because they're fearing something's going to happen while they're away, or they're trying to create connection because they believe that that's what their partner wants, and the partner does want connection, but they're going about it in all the wrong ways, and they're actually causing this irritation. And then by the time they get to their partner, there's so much irritation built up that there's no room for actual connection, because now it's just like
distance or
I don't even want to be around you because I'm edgy because of all, you never gave me space to breathe today. And so it's just like this feeling of just like, no, I need now space from you, even though I've been away from you all day, this whole thing. And then it causes all this friction in the relationship.
Yeah.
They noticed that recently, and they flipped it to just doing an evening call. So now they talk every single, when he does travel, they talk at night for however long. Yeah. However long, but they leave each other alone unless it is a true emergency. They don't communicate during the day. They just do this actual connection call at night. And what they were expressing was that because of that little change, now when they come back together after travels, there's actually a desire for each other to be together in multiple different ways. And I think that is exactly it. You think that if you want to reach out and you try to connect with somebody, or you're trying to initiate something new, when you have that on demand, why aren't you answering? Why aren't you doing this? Why? Where are you? It prevents a desire to interact with the person who's in that inquiry mode at that level.
Yes, most definitely.
Than actually building a desire. And you push everything away. It is a great way to get people to not want to be around you.
Yes. You create that pursue or distance or kind of relationship where one is like constant, the other one just is running because of the constancy. But I think it's also even not expecting others to be on demand, but also expecting ourselves. I feel like I don't have my We're live streaming from my phone.
She forgot.
I'm having a pretty moment. It's okay. But when we are constantly with our, let's pretend the phone. Let's pretend, sorry. I'm allowed to have blonde. I'm strawberry blonde. I'm allowed to have blonde moments too.
Where's my phone? Oh my God, where's my phone?
Oh, it's right there. It's okay. I own my ditziness sometimes.
We've all done it. Be talking on the phone to somebody. They're like, what are you doing? I'm looking for my phone. I don't know where I put it. This is someplace. I don't know. Oh my God. Like, I'm really forgetting. Do you know? I can't get another new phone right now. Like, I just got this phone. Oh my God. Oh my God. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? And like, oh my God.
Well, don't you remember we were coming home from Punta Cana, and like even in the airport I was like, I can't find my phone, and I'm holding it in my hand. I'm like, Kendall Renee, have you seen my phone? And you're like, Addison. Oh. So anyway, but I think this we're so used to being able to communicate at any point in the day, evening, night, morning, like it doesn't matter, that we've almost created I had one beautiful, like a client that I really loved, but he was like, well, it's rude if I don't respond. If they message me, if this person messages me, that person messages me, it's rude if I don't respond. And I was like, no, that's self-care. That's you taking a break. That's you giving yourself space. That's you just honoring where you're at, because maybe you're just not in the mood for that. Maybe you're in a place to answer that.
I think a big point there is to notice how you feel once that message comes in, because sometimes a phone number will pop up, or we'll get a text message or some sort of message from somebody, and if you're like, ooh, then that's a great space to go ahead and respond in. But if you feel yourself go and you like pull away and you get negative energy in your being, or something goes off in your gut, or you just feel tight, negative around that, then there's probably not the time to respond in that. That's like that. That's that space where you apply a little bit of a pause to give yourself time to.
And that doesn't even mean that there's something wrong with that other person. You could just be in a space. Like there's lots of times I get client messages all day long, and there's times I'm like, I see that come in, and I'm like, right now I am writing an article, and you are not my priority. I am my priority in this moment. Mm-hmm. Or doing something else. And then there are certain people I do prioritize more than others, and that's okay too. Like you have 7 kids, so if one of your kids message it,
except for today when I was doing conscious coffee and my daughter called, I went decline.
But if you get there's times when you're gonna go, oh, I know something's going on, so I'm gonna prioritize this. But there also is that self-care of going like, no, I'm sorry, right now I'm not available. And it's okay giving self permission to not always be available, to not always be on. And I think that's
it's boundaries.
Yeah.
It does. It comes back to boundaries. And if we're consistently on demand, or we feel that we need to be on demand, what we're doing is we're having very porous boundaries.
Yes.
Which is not healthy. We end up being the victim to things, and then we get that bitterness, that blame going outward, because we're creating that doormat situation for ourselves, which exhausts us in whatever way. It can be financial, it can be energetic, it can be physical, mental, doesn't much matter, but we exhaust ourselves. And that exhaustion, it is because we're trying to meet the demands of
changing all the channels.
And that causes this wishy-washy in us, where we don't have any ability to really just give that self-care and be able to stand strong in ourselves is what happens.
Even hear ourselves, because if you are always on demand for everybody else, then you cannot be on demand for yourself to hear what's actually going on within you. And then you're lost. Then you're actually not giving your best to anybody in your life. And I think there is this like level of, because like I know, because we have to communicate a lot because we have a lot of businessy stuff. So like I might pop you a bunch of messages, but there also is an expectation that you need to look at that you have of others. I'm like, yeah, I popped you a bunch of messages yesterday. I'm like, I know she's not gonna read them. Like that's fine. Like having that, like looking at your expectations of others in your life, whether it's relationship, whether it's work, whether like do you also expect others to always be on call for you? And if that's the case, where are you just overly expecting of people things that you're expecting you to always be their priority when actually they need to be their priority and you need to be your priority. So
yeah, it's about setting healthy intentions around things, expectations around things. I am expectation is one of those words that I have like a love-hate relationship with, because you have to have the expectancy of something manifesting in your life in order to get it to come into your life, to call it in. But if you have expectations around somebody else and their reactions or actions and everything, then you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yep.
So it is like, it is this much like with everything. I swear that that's like my lesson of the last week or 10 days is these beautiful words that have opposite meanings, and how that polar opposite, just like, you know, how it really is just about our focus.
It works here, but not here.
As I was just, every time I keep ending up on this coin thing of like, here's the coin. It's the coin of expectation, and we got this on this side, and we got this on this side. It's the coin of passion, boom, boom. You know, like there's just so much about, we have all these words that might feel good to us or feel negative to us, and it comes down to what our intent is on that feeling, I guess you could say.
Yeah. But definitely when it comes to relationship, and I know that everything is relationship, so really when it comes to it is looking at like, are you always expecting yourself or other to be on demand, and looking at the good expectations in your life, like setting like some expectations in a positive way, but not for others, more for yourself and what the universe is going to bring you. More expectations of the energy.
Well, yeah, it's more of, you know, what are you trying to achieve in anything? If we are talking about like the connection of relationship and where you're going, you know, why aren't you responding to me?
I don't feel like it.
What is the expectation around that? What are you actually going for in that? Right, like the dude that I was messaging me yesterday, right? What was his expectation? His expectation was that he could connect with me, actual connection, like sit down and talk to me and probably sell himself to me in some fashion or form, right? That was what I'm guessing his expectation was, especially since he got really mad when I mentioned that there was a guy in the picture. He didn't have a chance. That was kind of like set him off.
You can see that full story in Conscious Coffee. Go over it again.
But the expectation around that was that right there. It was about connection. It was about that he was trying to create a relationship. And because I didn't serve how he wanted me to in that moment of like, oh yeah, then he got mad. He got mad about it. And then to the point that he was just like, power off, go away. I know I turned this on, but now I'm done with you. Because you did not show me what I wanted. And then it became this aggressive response on the other side in a very angry tone, even in typing, this angry tone that was coming out. And we do that to people when we have that expectation around that. And it's just like, what are you expecting? And can you handle a rejection response? Whether, you know, it's not just like that, it's meaningless because we're strangers. But that is such... It's just a small little piece. It's this microcosm of how we actually are in our life. If we can't handle the rejection from a random stranger that really does not, we're never going to see this person. We're not going to, you know, I should be meaningless to him. I really should. It's like it's nothing. But that tone that he took right there, how does he handle when his buddy tells him no? How does he, you know, like where in his life has he consistently gotten really pissed off at not getting the response that he wants? That
in the bedroom, does he expect his woman to be on demand?
Right. Is she like, oh well, if we're making love, you know, then you should want it all the time? Well, no, nobody wants it all
None of us are none of us should be on demand. None of us are on all the time.
In any area of our life. We ebb and we flow in our energy and in our ability to be open and connective in different things. You know, whether it's in the bedroom, in our work, and our connection with, you know, kids. I mean, sometimes you got it and sometimes you don't have it going on, and it really is just about honoring where you're at, which means that if you're expecting this, or you're putting it on yourself, like, I'm always going to show up this way, I'm always going to do this, then that's not being true and authentic to your core.
Yeah, because I always just think back to this comment that this Mike said about, like, well, it's rude if I don't respond. I'm like, why is it rude? And I mean, that is actually something I had to learn, because I never used, like, if somebody used to message me, I'd be like, oh, I have to get back to that person years ago. And now I'm like, that person can hold for a second. That person can hold for a second. It's all right. And it was like, no, it's not rude. That's actually really honoring of self, and it's actually honoring of the other person, because then when you are with them, you're giving them your true attention, your true energy, versus me, I'm at the grocery store and I'm trying to text, you know, a meaningful response while I'm trying to also, like, get my groceries. Like, the truth is, like, you don't know what's going on in anybody else's life. Even if someone's online, and I hate that, because sometimes I will completely turn my chat off. Just because I'm like, just because the little green light is on doesn't mean I'm at my computer. Doesn't mean I'm available. Doesn't mean I'm at my computer. It doesn't mean anything. Even if I'm on a live. If I go on a live and then I get off a live, doesn't mean that I'm all of a sudden available. And I think this is actually in our faces more, because we are coaches and we do get this, and we are online a lot. So we get this more, but I think this is not just a coach's thing or an entrepreneur thing, or this is a world thing, because I am seeing, so I get clients that are dating and they're like, oh my gosh, like, she just wants me to be messaging her all the time, and like I hate it, and now I'm feeling resentful, now I'm feeling I don't have space. Now, like, you can take this beautiful thing, this beautiful connection, and separate it and really put space between it if you're not allowing the space that needs to happen, and you're just trying to, Brene Brown would call it hot wiring connection. Sorry, we have team leaders walking down. But Brene Brown would call it hot wiring connection, and that doesn't work. It doesn't work. So
we gotta go drop Lita off at her house.
So
And
hot wiring connection does not work,
And I'm
people.
going straight back to her house.
And then you're over to babysit.
Yes, I said we're going to her house, and then I'm going to Becca's to babysit. And then after Becca's, we're heading straight to her house, because Becca doesn't get off till 2, and Zach doesn't get off till 11.
Teenage check-in. Love you guys.
Those check-ins are important.
Does she have shoes in her hand?
Yes,
Okay.
she did. She did.
She walked out of the house without shoes on, but I hope she
They were
has
in
some.
her arms.
Okay, I thought I saw them, but I was...
So yeah, we're not on demand. Don't expect yourself to be on demand. Don't expect others to be on demand. It really is that simple.
Yeah, I think that it really just comes down to so many different things. It's a boundary issue, and it's an expectation issue in my book, and it's just I think the big piece that I would like to bring to the table on that,
Bring it to the table.
big piece. Big piece.
You're on.
Big piece.
You have weird noises in your house today. Sorry.
I know, it's like, where is that noise coming? Everybody's trying to be quiet to not interrupt us.
Uh-huh.
We're trying to be respectful, but then it makes it like a little
It's like what is that?
What is that?
It's like, ooh, he's getting food.
Is he making some for us too? No, is that when we are trying to, especially in that creation of, well, actually it's both ways. Before I like make the point of that, it's
And then you have to back the point
back
off.
it up. Okay.
Reverse.
Okay. So it is no matter what, if we are expecting of ourselves to be on demand or expecting somebody else, I think that it comes across as though we are in a desperate energy. That either direction, there is this desperation there, and it is this lack of self-worth or self-value, and that desperation comes through. And I don't know about everybody who is watching Free Spirit Talks on this, but last time I checked, desperation is not a very attractive thing. So yeah, it just isn't. It's not an attractive energy to be in. And when we get into that desperation mode, it's just, it just feels dirty, sticky, nasty, in that way. And what we end up doing with that, I want you on demand, is that I'm desperate for. I'm desperate for you. Please, 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 please. Answer me. I mean, that feels desperate, right? Like, it's like, that's that desperation, that energy. Or if we're going, oh no, I need to. That's I have to do this in order to have a valuable connection, in order to connect with my purpose, to be else. I have to be that
worthy.
You know, and I love this. I get his on my lengthy application for like my inner circle and everything. I have all those questions. I know you've seen them. All these questions, and you know, it'll go through on there. I think one of the questions, I don't know exactly how it's worded, but it's like, what are your, like, brag about yourself just a little bit. Tell me what, like, 3 of your best qualities. And I see often people will tell me, I'm a people pleaser. And it's like, this is a good thing. I'm really good at pleasing people. I'm a people pleaser. I'm really good at pleasing people. I'm like, ooh, that should not go on your qualities list. This is not a quality. This is a challenge.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that we need to work on.
Yeah.
And they're like, but I'm really good at making other people happy. Like, I really am good at connecting to others and pleasing them and making them feel valuable and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're really good at giving your life force energy away and draining your system to, like, nothing. And you're sitting here and you look very gray and you're like that because you are such a good people pleaser. Good
Coming
job.
from 2 former people pleasers.
Like, good job. And I think that it is it's an ongoing, because I consistently battle that. You know, it's a consistent battle, but it is that people-pleasing energy is also that form of that lack of worth that comes in. I need to please in order to be worthy of this connection. Oh, I mean, and it just really is. And that's what that whole, when we do this on demand, or why aren't you pleasing me so that you can be worthy of this connection? Or why aren't you? And that's like nasty, didn't it? Or, you know, like, you see that I'm hungry. You see that I'm starving for whatever it is. Why won't you feed me? I have designated you to feed me, to go and to take care of me.
Under attack.
Exactly.
I can't feed you. You have food in the kitchen.
No. Listen to me. Spend time with me. Go do everything with me. Don't, you know, like. But that's that same energy. You know, like, why won't you do this right now? Come on. That's what a 2-year-old does. 2-year-olds are needy little boogers.
But that's their life stage. Yeah, that's their life stage,
and they can't get their own stuff taken, you know, accomplished.
Needs met, yeah.
They're not able to get their needs met. They need that kind of attention. And even at 2, you've got to start teaching a child a little bit of distance, a little bit of responsibility, individual, you know, time. And it's like, no, we're going to have quiet time. What is quiet time? That's like, no, let's just lay here and let's just, you know, like, let's look at a book. Let's do this, play alone time, all this different stuff. You're supporting building that muscle of being okay and strong enough in yourself, building that self-worth that you do not always need to go outside to get something fulfilled.
Yes to all of that. Though you were talking and actually something else came in, I think there's also a level of, like, setting, and I'm trying to, like, it's like I see it, I feel it, but I'm trying to verbalize it. Trying to, like, verbalize it.
We're getting to the good point. Hold on.
Now I'm like, okay, what was my point? But I think there is also this, we're talking about expectations, and we're talking about, I think there's also an ego in there too of going like, oh, because I'll see this with, like, clients are like, oh, that person's so needy. And I'm like, well, how did that person go, why haven't you responded? Why aren't you doing that? Or are they just going, here's some information, I'm just texting you. That doesn't necessarily, like, also, like, don't get into the ego of, like, just every time somebody messages you, oh, they're so needy, they need me right now. Well, no, that's your ego and you going, oh, I'm going to prop myself up by going, see, they need me. Well, actually read what you're getting. Are they just going, hey, I want you to know this, blah, 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 here's this, here's what happened with the kids today, or are they going, why aren't you responding? Because I think there's also that ego reversal of, like, well, maybe you're you're making people, like, you think people want you on demand, but they don't necessarily, they're not asking for that. So that would also go into looking in self. I think this topic is really just like looking at your expectations of others and looking at your expectations of self too.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And where are you going? Where are you maybe like not verbalizing your yeses and your nos and your boundaries? And so that could be the rationale for this issue. And then again, to the boundaries of like, are you going like, why aren't you responding? Why aren't you responding? Like, that's also a boundary issue.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of boundary issues. And
it's boundaries, and then it's the vocalization of what your actual needs and boundaries are, our expectations are. I read a post somebody on Facebook today.
Yes, forward. Get to the point.
Facebook today posted, imagine if you entered every new relationship and sharing exactly what your expectations were of the relationship. And they had a little quote, but she had, I know who it is now. So, and she put in there, just that, like, just imagine if this was the case, that every relationship that we got into, we said, here's my desire in this relationship. Here's exactly what I'm looking for. And we were just that real, raw, authentic, instead of playing these games of doing the people pleasing or holding this or mind reading and all this different stuff, where we go, well, this was what my needs were and they didn't meet those, right? And then we start acting in whatever way. Maybe we get into this like on demand stuff because we're fearful of losing or something like that. And it was just really, it's very true that, especially like with on-demand stuff, why are we being on demand? We're not really stating what our desire is. Kind of like, I'm going to go back to this dude that messaged me because what? Because
it was actually very, yeah.
It's like it's a perfect storyline of maybe a dozen text messages between the two of us, right, on Messenger here, and he starts off with, "Do you want to hang out?" It wasn't "Do you want?" It was just "Want to hang out." Want to hang out. Random on the 4th of July. Random. And my response is, what are you meaning by, like, what does hang out? Explain to me what hang out means. Because what I think of what hang out means and what my 16-year-old daughter thinks what hang out means is two totally different things. Where in the spectrum of hang out are you? What
are your expectations?
What are your expectations? Like, be clear with me. And he could not, over the course of the entire time, give me a clear answer. He just got straight to irritated with me for me trying to get an answer from him.
Mind read.
And he's like, no, he wanted me to know what he mind read him. And I was just like, well, yeah, I mean, like, I hang out, but I'm not going to just go hang out with some random dude that I don't even know and go out at, I'm just, because I'm not looking, and I'm not going to put myself in a bad situation. So I'll bring my guy with me and we can chill. He's like, I just want to get to know you. That's great. What exactly are you wanting to get to know about me? Are you looking for a friendship? Are you looking for a coaching relationship? Are you looking for a sexual relationship? Are you trying to date me? Like, some of these things are already off the table. So, like,
in your mind. Probably not in his mind.
Let's just get this clear as to what your actual intent is.
Yeah.
And then it went straight to that frustration, but it really is that, in that particular situation, if he had said, hey, is there any way, because I had a guy not that long ago message me and said, what are the odds of me taking you out for a drink? And I came back with kind of like, well, what is the intent, right? So, and then I've had guys message me, I would love to take you out on a date. Well, at least that is a clear intent of, I'm asking you right now
for romantic
for a date. You use the word date. Now, I would like to take you out and pick your mind about business stuff. I've had that happen too. I got an email in my inbox right now from somebody who's saying, hey, can I get together with you and pick your mind about how to do blah, blah, blah in business? That's a clear intention setting of what you're wanting to do, where your desire is, what your expectation is. Okay? And then to do proper follow-up on that, of course, if you get ignored 3-4 days go by, you're like, hey, you probably get a lot of messages. So, I'm just trying to pull this back up. And maybe you didn't even see it, whatever, and bring that. But when you're going, this question mark, it really is, it just comes down to the boundaries, what the expectations are, but then the actual verbalization in whatever format you're using of not thinking that people have ESP. It's like,
but that would mean that we have to admit that we have expectations, and even though we talk about not like you shouldn't have expectations of other people, the fact is we all have expectations. So just get over it.
Expectations, the silent expectations of things.
But we don't want to say yes, I have expectations, when actually it's much clearer. It comes across much clearer, you know, when you just verbalize it and state it.
Yeah. So there you go. We could easily go down like a 50.
We could keep going with this, but
okay. I think I got my article content now.
Good.
Like 5 articles. We'll see what one pops out my fingers.
We'll see. It'll be magic.
What's that? There's a song. Oh, I just clicked into Ghostbusters in my head. The old Ghostbusters, the magic song in Ghostbusters just went through my head.
Magic song in Ghostbusters. I know Ghostbusters. I don't know the magic song was.
Song in it. Something about it's playing in the background about magic. It's like when the gates open up and the bad ghost guy comes in.
I think I was like 4 when I last time I saw Ghostbusters. And on that note, so anything you want to announce?
I always have announcements.
I know.
Do you have anything?
I am reworking all my programs and all that, so that should be launching. All my new programs and everything should be launching in the next day or 2 here. So be on the lookout for that. I'm really excited.
Are they online? Are they group? Are they one-on-one?
They are my one-on-one coaching programs. Just doing a little revamping to get things into alignment. And then also, and I'll announce this next time too, because it's not until August, but we are doing integrated action circles. It is a new monthly group I am doing. You're doing with me. I'm pulling you in to do it.
I'm going to be your slave.
Oh, yes.
I don't have any option in this.
No.
She has forced herself.
No. And this month is self-love. So if you are in the DFW area, that is for you. It is not for anybody outside of the DFW area unless you are swinging by August 3rd. But just want to announce that. It's
They're going to be really playful. And truth, I mean,
it is. It's
taking my joking around out of the picture there for a second. The circles really are going to be very playful and interactive, experiential. It's not a sit in a chair and take notes and go, experience.
Like action, go.
It is very much a playful and tapping into some of the energies that we don't always get to tap into in
processing things in a way we don't
and being
usually
able to
do.
kind of break open those containers of resistance around seeing. So we're going to spend 4 weeks of doing a deep dive into really building that lifestyle that you want. And then the final section of that. Final section.
I love this program. I think it's a great program.
Is all on